Another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Golficity. We're going to be talking about Jon Rahm's win at the Memorial Tournament this weekend. We're going to be looking ahead to the 3M Open and give you some DFS and betting picks for that. And we're going to be capping it off with birdies and bogeys as always. So let's get into it. All right, it's episode 38. We decided it's the Carlos Zambrano episode.
And Kurt Schilling.
And Kurt Schilling. All right.
30, Carlos Zambrano.
38. So
as we get higher, it's gonna be a little bit tougher because
more fun though.
Yeah.
More obscure names.
More obscure names.
Yeah,
sure.
Can't wait until we get into like the late 40s.
It'll be random like Brandon Bass.
Brandon Bass had the wettest mid-range jumper in the game.
Yes, he did.
Wettest.
He was a key part of the Celtics
Mid-range,
teams.
like baseline jumper, swish every time.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jon Rahm won this weekend. Sunday, honestly, I was going into it. I told Jeek, I was like, I think that Jon Rahm, like, even though he has a 4-stroke lead, just doesn't have this locked up because you just never know what was happening this weekend because the course was playing so different.
Oh, the course was so hard this weekend, and not gonna lie, we got it all wrong. Like, we were thinking that I was gonna play like similar to the week before, and this is the first time we've had a tournament where it was back-to-back weeks, and I don't even want to talk about our picks. Like,
I think there was there was only 2 scores in the 60s on Sunday.
Yeah, sure. Was it Fitzpatrick and
Reed?
And Reed maybe, yeah. Which whatever. Fitzpatrick was on fire, and I think he had bones on the bag this week, which was kind of cool.
But the course was, first of all, Jon Rahm, new world number 1 for the first time.
Yeah, right. It's second Spaniard ever to Seve.
Which is surprising. Sergio never made it.
Yeah,
honestly.
Sergio never made one.
Do you think he is the best player in golf right now, though?
No, I
never. That's the thing.
Like he gets number 1. I was gonna say on here I'm like he hasn't even been playing that great since the restart.
I mean he did have a tremendous week on U.S. Open condition course.
Yeah, he played the best this week for sure.
Well,
but there's the weeks before Bryson and JT were playing better than him. And
honestly,
I'm surprised that he kind of just came out of nowhere to win world number 1.
Which I don't think the break. I think the break hurt Jon Rahm and Sungjae Im more than anyone else in the field. They were both playing pretty well before the break, and then after the break, it kind of took him a while to come back for Rahm, and Sungjae Im still hasn't really come back.
It also killed Harry Higgs.
Yeah,
Harry Higgs.
Yeah, he was
playing awful.
He was living the life, but most of the day it wasn't. I feel like yesterday was just he was up by 4. At one point he was up by 7.
So he got to, I think it was maybe 14 or 13. He hit a 3-wood off the tee, I think left, and he slammed his club on the ground. And all the announcers this is where he loses it.
Yeah.
This is where, and all of a sudden he started giving back. He bogeyed another hole, I think. He started giving back strokes.
But then he made that chip in.
Then he made that chip on 16, which we'll get to.
So
we'll just talk about it now. They said the ball moved 2 millimeters or something.
Well, I didn't see
I couldn't.
The ball, you couldn't
tell
the
unless
rule,
you super slow mo.
The official PGA rule is that if you see it from the naked eye, then it's a 2-stroke penalty, right? If it's obvious that the ball moved from the naked eye, but they're taking this super close up camera angle from behind the ball, slow mo. It's it moved literally a millimeter, didn't affect the shot whatsoever.
Did you hear after the round? He was interviewed, asked about it, and he had no idea.
He had no clue,
He had no idea it had moved, and he had no idea he was issued a penalty at all.
Exactly. He looked at the video.
The PJ never even told him he was issued a penalty. Imagine if he was up by 1 shot, and he was told he never was told anything, and he just lost the tournament because he didn't know he would had 2
I'm gonna say I don't think it was noticeable by the human eye. If you're playing a web.com or whatever that's called Corn Ferry Tour, they probably don't have that camera angle.
Here's the thing.
Exactly.
I don't think a random golf fan, which is not a random golf fan, a average golf fan is the person you want to
appeal
to.
You
want to bring in and appeal to, and this just shows them golf is still that weird sport that everything has to be chop.
Whatever. Rahm, he still won the tournament, and he looked at it after, and he didn't really argue it when they went over it with him, but because the ball did move, but that's a tough rule.
I just
don't like that because the ball I think it should be like, did it affect his shot? Didn't affect his shot.
It needs to be put in place for people like Patrick Reed,
so like, did he touch the ball?
No, so he was just like, you know how like people fidget around behind the ball when they're like getting ready to like take a shot. He was just like fidgeting with his hands like up and down, and like he'd never touched the ball. He was just touching the blades of grass, like kind of behind it, like barely.
Gotcha.
And the ball like did one of those like tiny like half rotation like to the like. If there was no logo on the ball, I don't think you would be able to tell that the ball moved.
So that's like, I feel like that's a little bit different than like the whole DJ thing at the U.S. Open a couple years ago.
Yeah,
because it was putting, like DJ didn't touch the ball, and like that was like that rule where he's like, if the ball moves before you set up to it, like that's not a stroke anymore. But if he was like fidgeting with the grass, it makes sense. But still, like he even said in the post round interview, said, If I had known that happened, I would have told someone. Like, I would have reported to someone. But like, he had no idea it even happened because like, he probably was just looking up and like. Move.
Who even pointed that out?
They just got a slow-mo like camera angle of it, and like
just because they wanted to see it.
That's completely not the rule though. The rule is like it has to be noticeable by the human eye, and they're looking at it in like slow-mo, like through the camera.
But how does someone see that in the first place? How does someone just see like?
I don't know. They probably just saw the replay.
They just saw the replay because they wanted to see a slow-mo replay. Because
he chipped in on that one, so like they're probably like, oh, let's see the up close like under the ball like replay, and then they see, oh, the ball moved a little bit.
Yeah, so, like if any other tournament, if it's like a tournament like a Corn Ferry tournament, it's not like
any other tournament that's not going to be a two-stroke penalty because you don't see it.
The chip in itself was pretty sick.
Oh no,
he landed in the perfect spot.
Doesn't take anything away from it, and the reaction was cool. Imagine if the crowd was there.
Yeah, I feel like the Memorial generates like the sickest like flop shot chip-ins every year.
Like you've seen the videos,
several videos of Tiger. It's super. The greens are super firm, so like everybody was having trouble like landing on the greens and keeping it on the greens. Yeah. They were kind of just rolling off the back or in the front. Honestly, that was huge too that he made that. Now even with the two-stroke penalty, that is like a sick bogey if you think about it. Like he only won. He won
like
by
imagine
3
if
shots.
he slid that past and then like two-putted.
Had the two-putt and all of a sudden it's tied and they have to go into a playoff. Like that would suck.
Geez. Yeah, that would have been bad. But yeah, there's the whole course. Like, I mean, Bryson, who we thought was just like an absolute lock to come like top 20, made a 10.
He screwed himself up. He made a 10 on one hole, which honestly it was dumb because he hit it left, right, and then he was like, I'm going to take a 3-wood 3 times. He's like, I'm going to take 3-wood and try to like hit it in play. Hits it out of bounds first time. It's like, okay, like goes back to the spot, same spot, drops. He's like, I guess I'm going to pull 3-wood again and hits it out of bounds again. And then he pulls it a third time and he's like instead of taking like an iron the third time, he's like, you know, I'm gonna go 3-wood again, and hits it like 2 feet inbounds. Like he almost hit it out of bounds the third time. Like he could have made like 15 on that hole. Like after you hit it out of bounds once with the 3-wood, I would think that you go to a different club.
It's like one like I played like when I played my qualifier a couple weeks ago. It was like I hit driver out of bounds, 3-wood out of bounds, and I'm like, you know what, I'm taking a 5-iron off the tee and hitting something else.
Yeah. Exactly. But I mean, he was in a weird lie, like on the left side of the fairway, and he decided to take 3-wood. I'm just like, you're trying to get to the green from there, and you just end up hitting it across out of bounds.
I mean, the rough itself was just like terrible.
Yeah, U.S. Open conditions.
There was a shot where Spieth was like, I just can't even see the ball barely.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to get a club on this.
There was a bunch of like really interesting shots this week of guys getting like creative. I mean, obviously you saw Phil was putting from 78 yards. That didn't quite work out. He ended up chipping again.
He putted from 78, then took a full swing from 38 feet.
Yeah, he made par, but like still, he made par. But he was way out of it at this point. So I feel like if he was in it, he wouldn't be putting.
Did you see him lay up on a par 3?
Yeah.
That was crazy. 173 yards over the water.
There's a par 3. I think it was par 3, 15 maybe.
Everybody 16.
Or 16. Everybody was landing the ball like long and like past the green. Like they just kept showing that hole, and like no one was landing it on the green. It was kind of funny. Phil was just and I guess Phil
120-yard shot.
Phil like understood that no one was like getting up and like getting it on the green from there. You might as well lay it up short and give yourself like a good shot.
And you almost behind. And like people are saying like, oh, Phil is going crazy right now, but Morikawa made triple on that hole. Phil made 4. Phil almost made par.
Yeah.
He hits like 8 feet and almost made par.
And I mean, it was half Phil losing it because he's just a weirdo.
Yeah, he's a weirdo. Yeah, like
smart course management.
Him putting, and he explained the whole logic behind putting it too, which actually kind of made sense. But still, it's kind of wild.
He's still made par.
There should be a stat for course management.
There should be.
I don't know how you.
Phil would be. I don't know where. No, because Phil would be so erratic.
Because for a tournament like this, that would like.
That's a big deal.
Phil's U.S. Open blunder a couple years ago put his course management rating a little bit lower.
I don't even know how you do that though.
Also, DJ was like behind a tree and he decided to turn the club around and hit lefty, and he hit like a full shot lefty, like 125 yards with like the blade of his club.
Remember when Koepka was hitting like it's 8 iron, like 180 lefty?
No, but like he's using a right-handed club.
He's using a
right-handed club. He turns it around and he took a full swing. And he hit like a 6 shot.
They're still good enough to do that. Like still so good.
Which is crazy, and it looked so natural too, like a normal like that. Like it looked like he was lefty.
I remember seeing videos of DJ hitting like drivers left, like 380, like 300 yards.
And then like on the first day, I don't or maybe it was the second day. I don't know if you guys saw this, but JT Poston had like a lie like right above a bunker, so he turned around, was standing backwards, and did one of those like scoop shots from behind. I've seen before. And he hit like a 6 shot on the green like with that. So like those kind of interesting shots kind of just showed you how like tough the course is playing. So Jon Rahm was like a scratch, like 4 scratch club champions wouldn't like break 80 or break par or something in a scramble.
And but 4 scratch club champions.
I think
that's.
I think he didn't really mean that. I think he was just like.
He was kind of saying.
I think at first he said like a scratch club champion wouldn't break 80, and then he like was like, you know what? I actually 4 scratch club champions in a scramble wouldn't break par. But like,
I think he was just trying to
say how hard it was.
I mean, it was playing hard.
What do you think we would have shot if we played a scramble? What do you think we would have shot there?
Pretty bad.
20 over. I don't know.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
it would be really bad.
I think like
25 over.
I think T13 was like 2 over or something. The cut line was finally in the pluses. Like we didn't have like a -5 cut for the first time since the break.
People were playing like decent on like I know like 2 of my guys that I picked were playing like decent on Friday or Thursday, and then bet on shot 10 over par.
Yeah,
Friday.
It was like
just ruined everything.
One or the other. Same thing happened like to me. Ricky Fowler played so bad on the first day, but then he was like under par the second day.
Nobody except for Jon Rahm, Ryan Palmer, and Tony Finau were really lighting up like the scorecard
until Matthew Fitzpatrick on the last day.
Like Jordan Spieth finished T13 at 1 over.
Yeah, there's a bunch of guys that 1 over. As you mentioned, Tony Finau played pretty sick this week, and he was bombing it. Like he was been out saying that like he could drive it as far as Bryson if he like takes a full swing. And he needs to work on it. He proved it. He's starting to take full swings on and like kind of let it loose on a couple holes.
On that Wednesday event that they did, like the
bombing it,
the weird event that they do every Wednesday now. He had a ball so straight in like 380 yards.
And apparently after this tournament, he's considering taking a driver that is less than 7 degrees, which is like Bryson's the only one on tour that uses like a 6.5 degree driver. So Tony Finau's trying to catch up to Bryson and play the same game.
Which he definitely can with this distance. Yeah.
Because like it's always been like, wow, Tony Finau has like a little like half swing type thing going on. Yeah. He still hits it 320 yards. Like, what would happen if he took a full swing and like kind of found out this week?
Yeah, if the driving accuracy goes actually, but then also just like a big thing people have been talking about is except for this week, like driving accuracy hasn't been important.
No, not really.
But this week it was.
I mean, but like in a major, it's going to be important. I mean, but to have that and to have both like his fairway finder swing that still goes 300 in the bag and like a 380-yard bomb that he could just unleash. Like to have both those shots, that could make him pretty dangerous.
He's playing this weekend, like Jico mentioned and we'll all mention, like it's kind of a driver's golf course. Say if you hit driver ball, like you're gonna be hitting it a lot, and like I feel like he's just gonna let it loose like every single hole pretty much. But so we get the Tiger.
I had a tweet about this. Did you see it?
You did. I saw this. Yes. Like
so.
What was it? I didn't see it.
It's like Sunday. What I say? It's Sunday tradition. Tiger being showed at like 6 over, not in a golf tournament.
Oh, just still showing every single shot.
Showing him on like the 15th, or the 7th hole.
Putting for bogey.
Putting for like double bogey because they just love to show Tiger. Like I feel like
you got. I mean. If you're a TV network, you gotta show Tiger just to get like.
Well, because like the average golf fan wants to see Tiger.
Yeah.
But at the same time, does the average golf fan really like want to watch a 8 over Tiger even?
I don't know.
I think an average golf fan just wants to see
Tiger. I'd have to ask an average golf fan.
If you say you're not tuning, your average golf fan, you're not tuning in during the week. You're tuning in like Saturday, Sunday. Like you kind of missed your chance to see Tiger. They have to show him a little bit, I'm sure, just to keep people.
I mean, it's like one of those things. It's like doesn't matter. Like he's just one of those names where it doesn't matter how he's doing. They're still going to talk about him. They're still going to show him. They're still going to interview him after the round. And like they're still going to be like, oh, where are we going to see you next? And like even though he's like finished as leaders haven't even gone off yet, and he's finishing up right now. Like it's
also another thing was that like so I heard somebody like tweeting about. I saw somebody tweet about how all the announcers were when Jack Nicklaus was on. They were talking about like how like that was their guy growing up.
Yeah, I saw this one.
Like that, they need somebody who like Tiger was their guy growing up, and like that's why they said that. Like, maybe Shane
it was like the idea was like the tweet was saying like everybody's talking about how like Jack Nicklaus was their idol growing up. That just shows you how many of these like announcers are in their like mid to late 50s, early 60s. Like, and then the guy was like, "How about you hire somebody like Shane Bacon, who's like out there?"
Shane Bacon should be hired by CBS. I feel like.
But Tiger's back wasn't. He said it wasn't the best, but he said it's never going to be like 100% every week. Which is, hearing that is like kind of like. It's kind of scary, but
I mean, whatever. He just
he's 43.
Made the cut, like barely made the cut on the number. I think. You know, he played okay.
Actually, he had stretches where he played very well.
He played
like he buried like the first hole on Thursday.
I'm gonna assume he won't play again until the PGA Championship.
Is that 2 weeks?
Yeah.
What's next week? Because we have the 3M Open this week in Minnesota. And then I feel like we have something bad.
There's a WGC coming up.
At the FedEx St. Jude.
And they're saying, I'm not sure what the field's going to be like for that because, like, if you go out there and you get COVID, then you can't play in the in the PGA. So I don't know.
But you have to qualify for WGC, so it's at least going to be decent.
Yeah, it should be good. I think if you look at the field this week and you see that it's really a weak field this week, like compared to what we've had
people
recently,
are probably just like
I think people are going to play next week because like that kind of just
and they kind of want to tune up for the PGA obviously too.
But I'm going to assume we won't see Tiger until the PGA. Maybe he'll be on his A game, maybe not.
I don't think he's not playing enough. And
I don't know how hard TPC Harding Park plays, to be honest, because it's never been played.
He has won there. He's won there before.
Right. Yeah, has been played.
Like a long I was literally watching this Tiger.
Not a major though.
No, but like he's won like I saw like a documentary. Like the Tiger Woods, like the golf channel thing, where he's like all 82 victories.
Maybe it did host a major. I honestly have no clue.
No, it didn't. I don't think it's hosted a major yet. But he beat like John Daly in like a playoff there one time.
Interesting.
But it looked like he won there. So who knows?
I mean, yeah, you never know between Tiger and a major.
Kind of relating Tiger to DraftKings right now, like. You can't pick him. He's like
his salary is so inflated too,
and he's owned like by like 23% of people.
Yeah. Everyone's gonna pick him. There's just no reason. Like he's like so overvalued every single week.
Yeah,
and everyone's gonna pick him too.
But you know what? But like back to his back, like it's gonna bother him. I mean, you see Jason Day, who's like 15 years younger than him, and his back bothers him every week.
His back has probably been more fucked up than Tiger's.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he played well last week, but like. His back has pretty much taken him out from being number one in the world to like not that good.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, but as I was saying, I feel like just because you're number one in the world doesn't mean
that you're the best in the world
player.
Yeah,
like Jon Rahm. Like we don't think Jon Rahm is the best player in the world right now.
I mean, yeah, he's still up there.
Who would you say is though?
Justin Thomas or Bryson?
Bryson's probably the hottest player in the world. Actually.
Other than since the return of the break, maybe Rory though.
I bet Rory. I think Rory is still actually probably number one. Which I'm surprised that even.
It's just he hasn't been playing.
You can make a case
Rory
for.
Rory didn't even play bad this weekend.
You can make a case for Rory, Justin Thomas, or Bryson. I think anyone else, like probably not.
It's probably no. I think it's those.
And you could make a argument for Rahm just because he is number one.
Oh,
yeah, but like
that's indisputable.
Since the break, it hasn't been. He hasn't been the best player in the world.
Jon Rahm. Yeah, he hasn't. I don't know. I mean, I guess Bryson has since the break, but I don't think Bryson's the best player in the world.
Winning this like makes a big difference though. Cause, like this is probably the hardest tournament.
I feel like the argument for Bryson isn't that good. Just like you could say right now, but like it's a small sample size of his new game.
Well, yeah.
So I'd lean more towards JT and Rory.
Well, yeah, if we see this over the course of a year, then it's different. If he's finishing top 10 like every single week for like.
I mean,
I feel
like Bryson's always going to have.
Groove,
he's always going to have like you saw him have a 10 this week on a hole. I think Bryson's always going to have like he's gonna have blow up hole like on like every couple events.
And like like along with that, like I feel like Bryce is gonna play like great for a couple weeks, and then he's gonna have like a blow up week like this week.
Yeah.
Or he's gonna have like a week where he doesn't play the best, he just barely makes a cut or something like that. Like he's gonna have like one of those weeks every now and then, which everyone does. But
out of the new guys on tour, like Hovland, Morikawa, Wolfe, I feel like Morikawa is like the most likely to be number
Morikawa is
one
by far the most. He's
I could see
like 27 out of 28 cuts or something like that.
Yeah, because Hovland doesn't have the putting, so like, I mean, I don't know. I just don't think he has the chance.
Wolfe is not as good.
He's also what 22, 23.
Yeah,
so
they all have room to
all
like
young.
plenty
so
of
he
time.
can improve his putting.
Morikawa looks like the best right now. Which
obviously.
But I guess if you give it, if we're talking about down the line, if you give it, let's call it 5 years, Hovland could make like a transformation putting, like Webb Simpson made a transformation putting.
You have no clue what's going to happen.
So
in 5 years.
If Hovland figures out
in 5 years, everybody could be hitting the ball like Bryson. Like all of a sudden, 400 yards is like the normal drive.
That's
like you
weird.
just don't know.
They're gonna have to extend the golf courses.
I know.
More.
That'd be crazy.
But
or like change the golf balls or something.
Yeah, Jesus.
That would be interesting. And then the last thing before we get into next week, Jack Nicklaus revealed on like the broadcast that he had COVID in March along with his wife.
He's like 85.
And I think he's
80.
Which is just like
still
what a beast.
I texted. I was watching the broadcast. I saw that. I just texted our group chat. I'm like, what a beast! This guy just like didn't talk about him having COVID
like, at all. He literally just like mentioned it as a side note.
He's like nonchalantly like I had COVID.
Jim Nantz was like, all right, so you didn't tell anyone, but like, do you want to tell anybody the news now? And I was like, well, okay, what's good? And he's like, yeah, I had COVID in March. I'm like, oh. Okay.
He's like completely normal, completely fine.
But whatever, he was really good on the broadcast this week.
Oh yeah,
I like him when he's on the ground. Yeah, he's always good on the broadcast.
He always is.
Actually, so I was gonna do the hypothetical that we put on the Instagram, but I have a better hypothetical for us since that one doesn't really
fit
relate. What milkshake flavor are you going with if you win the the Memorial?
I've always been an Oreo guy. I like a black and white milkshake.
Black and white.
That wasn't really on. That wasn't
on the list.
On the list.
You could ask for that though.
Black and white's the best.
I don't think I'd go with Oreo there because I can get an Oreo anywhere.
You have to go something.
I mean, apparently,
because I feel like their chocolate milkshake.
What was their specialty milkshake called?
Wasn't it?
I googled the specialty milkshake or something, and it looked fire, but I'm not really a peanut butter guy, so like I can't really.
I would have a peanut butter milkshake. That sounds like there's a chocolate.
No, it was like a sit. I gotta find it now. I'm sorry.
I would go. Your dad commented like no black and white.
That's so Long Island of him.
The black and white milkshake is the best milkshake though.
It is.
It's like
that's my go-to at a diner.
Shake Shack or something like that. Like I get black and white milkshake.
Yeah, at a
diner. The Buckeye milkshake. Let me Google
the Buckeye.
That.
I have no clue.
So it definitely has peanuts in it. You're right. If it's Buckeye.
Why?
Because Buckeye's a nut.
I did not know that.
That's what it is, the Ohio State Buckeye. That big guy's a nut. The mascot, he's a nut.
He's a nut.
A glop of peanut butter atop ice cream, adding a swirl of chocolate and a big glug of milk.
You just blew my mind.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Like a Buckeye.
The Buckeye's
a nut. It's a nut. I can't believe you didn't know that. I can't believe you didn't know a Buckeye's a nut. It's just a big nut. It's a big like.
I had no clue what a Buckeye was.
It's literally just like a human body with a big nut. Like
I couldn't tell you what a Buckeye was before that.
I don't think anyone knew what that was. Like when you posted that on the Instagram. So like that does sound kind of fire though. But I'm not a peanut butter guy.
The Buckeye thing. Yeah, I guess
the Buckeye. I guess I would get that because if it's one of those milkshakes, it's like their specialty and you can only get there. They're like. I would get it.
Whatever Morikawa had when he won looked pretty fire.
I think it might have been that, honestly.
It could have looked like it was chocolate. Maybe I just get that just because you're at the tournament.
You're at the tournament. You're like get the Buckeye, get the Ohio State Buckeye, the nut.
All right. So heading into the 3M Open. So now we're going to move on from last week. We can put that behind us because we all just completely got that wrong. We have another 9-hole event on Wednesday. It's Fleetwood and Casey versus Wolfe and Will Gordon. A little surprising to see Will Gordon just because
I know
random names.
Yeah. One good week and now he's playing with like
and now everybody loves Will Gordon.
Yeah. Well, I would assume if Victor Hovland was in the field, Wolfe and Hovland would be pretty sick.
That'd be kind of that'd be pretty cool.
Well, I honestly was surprised to see this week. I completely forgot about Fleetwood.
I know.
He's
the one guy. I love Fleetwood too. I mean, he's the one guy who's missing.
He's probably my favorite non-American.
I would agree with that. He's my
Fleetwood.
favorite too.
He hasn't been playing for a while, but I'm assuming he's getting ready for the PGA in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I guess. Apparently, he played Shinnecock last weekend. He shot 64, which is kind of sick.
I mean,
he should have played last week.
I mean, he loves the course. He played well at Shinny.
Yeah, I know.
He came in second, right?
Yeah,
To Koepka.
Imagine being good. Imagine being sick enough that you could just go like play Shinnecock.
Yeah, he's gonna play casually play Shinnecock, shoot 64. But I forgot about. He's like the one person that hasn't been back yet, and I love Fleetwood.
He is back, but the field is still pretty weak this week. I mean, you still have DJ, Koepka, Finau, Paul Casey, but after that,
when you go DJ, Koepka, Finau, and then you go and Paul Casey. It's like the
Paul Casey. You can't forget about Paul Casey. He's like Paul Casey's like
whatever.
$10,000.
We'll get to Paul Casey in a little bit, but after that, there's
he's good, sure, but like he's so
off.
like it's Paul Casey.
People know about Paul Casey, but like
he's just a name.
Paul Casey's not going to get you to watch a golf tournament.
Paul Casey might as well just be Justin Rose to me. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. To put the field into
Justin Rose is a step
higher than Paul Casey.
I couldn't tell you what Paul.
Wait, you couldn't tell you what Paul
I couldn't tell you what he looks like.
Not gonna lie, I didn't know Paul Casey was British until a couple years ago. I thought he was American. I heard him speak. I'm like, whoa, this guy's British. I did not know that.
I mean, to put into perspective how weak the tournament is this week, Bubba Watson is in at a 9,900 salary this week.
Paul Casey's at 10,000.
I mean, Paul Casey's good though.
He's good.
We'll get to that. We'll get to
Paul
that.
Casey.
Course preview: TPC Twin Cities. Second time we're having an event here. Last year's 3N Open was the first one.
It was a good tournament.
It was a good tournament last year.
The top three were like Wolfe, Bryson, Morikawa.
Yeah.
That was pretty sick.
It's a par 71, 64 yards, bent grass greens. A lot of water hazards and sand traps this week. 27 water hazards, 72 sand traps. I think I was reading that there's only like 3 holes where water's on play. So because of that, makes it a ball strikers course. I feel like I say this every week, but like, if you look at the stats from last year, like in the field, like the top ball strikers were like the top 2 players in the tournament. So
I feel like that's just the case every week.
I don't know. Like some people just get hot off the putter and they're not necessarily.
Well, no, I feel like this is kind of like
I think this is like a supreme ball strikers course.
Ball strikers, but I feel like it's like you just unleash the driver.
Well, no, off the tee. But that's same with ball striker.
Yeah, but it's different. Like I feel like ball striker. When I think of ball striker, I think of like all around, more iron guy.
So basically, what Jeeks just uncovered is you need to do well off the tee, you need to approach well, and you need to putt well.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Which is pretty bold to say that.
Every week.
Pretty bold, Jeeks.
Pretty bold to say you do all this.
Fairways are easier to hit this week, which Trev kind of just mentioned. There were hardly any scores last year that weren't under par, so like
it's gonna be our 27.
Yeah, like
I would say the cut's gonna be. We should
predict
new segment.
The cut.
New segment predicting the cut.
Okay,
I just started that right now.
That's awesome. I love this.
Last year's winner was Matthew Wolfe at minus 21. So I'm assuming the cut's gonna be 6 or 5.
I was gonna go
with 5.
There will be somebody in the double digits after the first round. I feel like somebody's gonna shoot a sick round.
That's debatable. I mean, that's really hard to do, but yeah. Can you see it? The cut?
I can't. I don't know. I might not be able to.
You have to pull up the Google leaderboard. Like how it shows in Google.
Okay.
But anyways,
yeah.
I don't. So it's par 71, so somebody would have to shoot 61 to get.
I need to cut me for minus 5.
The cut was like.
Or no, give me minus 4. If you guys are saying minus 5, I'll be closest and I'll get minus 4. If it's.
All right.
I mean, it was
Watch
like.
It be minus 6.
We were averaging around a 5 or 4 under round last year, like per round.
Yes. So obviously it's a very easy course.
Wait, what is all this?
And I don't know if I don't like that, but at the same time it does make for some entertaining golf down the stretch.
Right at the end.
But I don't think the whole week it's not that entertaining.
The cut was minus 2 last year.
Okay. I still think the cut's gonna be.
Oh. Yeah.
Just based off the last couple of weeks, what the cut's been like before last week, I would think.
What does this mean?
The cut's gonna be pretty low.
Yeah, I think minus 4 might be a little more accurate, but
I mean,
the way everything's been going this year,
we didn't get the key stats: strokes gained approach, strokes gained off the tee for the first time in a couple weeks.
This is what I'm looking at this leaderboard from last year. There are like 10 or 11 guys who just made the cut but did not finish the tournament. They made the cut and they just didn't play on Sunday.
There must have been some sort of reason for that.
I don't know, but what sort of reason could there have possibly been?
To pass up $100,000.
Yeah, exactly. Especially these guys like Anders Albertson. Like what does that guy have to lose?
I could not tell you why. I have no clue.
That's really weird.
I don't know.
Anyway, I don't think we're gonna find
yeah,
out.
we're not gonna
find out why
that's
by the time we're done with this podcast.
Yeah,
but
that's interesting.
Okay. Also, Eagles gain par 4s 450 to 500.
True. Getting the most eagles in the tournament is probably pretty important.
Well, no, it's not getting the most eagles. It's just like guys who statistically
putting well and hitting the ball irons.
Guys
well
who statistically like hit the green in 2 and like will have like a better Eagles gain like percentage.
So basically, long hitters.
Yeah,
I feel like
will play well this week.
Yeah,
Matthew Wolfe is one of those guys. He's been waiting. He's been waiting for a course that
fits
long hitting is gonna do it.
Yeah,
and honestly,
I'm surprised Bryson's not in the field this week just to like show off. But
yeah, this is be Bryson's tournament to win. Like he would.
Yeah,
he'd probably be like
plus, it would be his tournament.
He'd probably be like plus 400 to win this tournament. If he was
exactly. Like probably like plus 500, but still,
like ridiculous, ridiculously low.
So moving on to DFS and like our high salary segment, there's slim pickings here in the high salary category.
I mean, you like Paul Casey, you can talk about that.
I mean, yeah. So like just going through the salaries right now, high salary this week is Dustin Johnson at 11.5. Then it goes on to Koepka 11.2, Finau 10.9, Fleetwood 10.5, and Casey 10.1. Now I like Paul Casey just because he's literally a ball striker.
He is a ball. He is definitely.
He's literally the second ranked. Like there's a category for ball striking. He's number 2 in that. He missed the cut last week, but he still gained strokes ball striking somehow, which is weird. I guess he just didn't putt well.
Incredibly, I'm not going to take last week into account much, considering this course is just like
so different.
So incredibly different because like the average score, let's take Rahm out, even though he shot 9 under, which is like incredible for last week.
The average score on Sunday was
and let's call it like the average score was like, if you played average, you were 2 over for the tournament.
I mean, if they had one more week like before they played that tournament, they could have gotten the course like to super US Open like conditions, and they would have been like the final winning score probably would have been like -4 or 5 like.
Yeah,
Gary Woodland, who I actually picked top 20, finished T22nd. He was +2 in the week.
Yeah,
exactly.
But that's wild.
But yeah, no. So I like Paul Casey just based on his ball striking. He's 9th in strokes gained approach, 12 strokes gained off the tee. I think his stats fit well for this week. Like I said, slim pickings and the high salary guy. You kind of don't really want to miss with your high salary pick if you're going to pick one. And I just think Paul Casey's going to finish solidly.
The guy I'm probably going to go with when I put together a lineup is. No, I think it's gonna be Fleetwood, because Fleetwood is also a guy who gains a lot of strokes off the tee. He's another ball striker. Like he's debatably one of the best iron players on tour, like the best iron.
Yeah, right.
Player.
And the reason I like Casey over Fleetwood is like the unknown. Like I just think.
I feel like.
I mean, I think Fleetwood might play. Like I'm not gonna hate on Fleetwood. I think it might play well, but just based on the unknown and also Casey's a little less salary, I figured I feel
like Tommy Fleetwood's one of those guys who won't play for like a while, and he'll come back and he'll be like one of the featured guys, and he'll be like right top of the leaderboard every single time. Yeah. Like I don't know.
I mean, we had this thing with Pat Cantley a couple weeks ago.
I think Fleetwood did this at what was it? Not Bay Hill. At PGA National, at Jack's place. He did, and he kind of came out. He didn't play in like weeks. He comes back and he was like top of the leaderboard like every single day, pretty much, or near the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, so I guess those are 2 guys.
I think
Casey, we'll go with the English guys.
Finau's
not a bad one either, because Finau. I could see Finau winning the tournament.
Puerto Rico curse.
I say at the top of the salaries, I say
he just can't win. So I can't see him.
Yeah.
At the top of the salary, I say stay away from DJ, stay away from Koepka, and go in that middle range. So Finau, Fleetwood, Casey.
I would definitely stay away from DJ and Koepka. Yeah, I mean.
I don't know. I think DJ could play well.
I think they could play well, but I'm not going to take an 11.5 salary guy at this tournament. I'm sorry.
I think Fleetwood, Casey, Fleetwood, Finau are like the 3 guys if you're going to target for.
But here's the thing, in my opinion, I think a tournament like this is where you can splurge on the high guys because you can find value with like.
Well, the problem is everybody's salaries are like inflated this week, so that's the problem. So like you take a Henrik Norlander he played well last week.
He was 6,300.
He was 60 something hundred last week. He's 8,600 this week. He's like near the top middle.
He was 63.
63 last week. I had him in a lineup last week too.
Me too.
Russell Henley's 9,200.
Crazy.
Russell Henley's 9,200.
9,200.
Yeah. So that's why I'd stay away from DJ.
So we can get into our actual picks. Let's go with Trevor to start. We'll do a little right to left.
So last week I had Well, our picks last week were not good, but bet on.
We don't have to go over
10
those.
over last week.
I actually had a decent pick last week. One of them.
Leash and Ben on both played great on Thursday, but should have bet on Friday. But so I picked Sam Burns 8,500, T7 here last year. He's top 30 in his last 3 starts. I don't think he played last week, but I can't remember. And then 28th in strokes gained off the tee this week. I'm big on this week on guys who are good off the tee. So I'm gonna ride with Sam Burns here, and he played well last year. And again, another not the best field week. He's 8,500, which is for a guy his name and quality, you wouldn't think he'd be that high of a salary, but shows you how weak the field is.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the field's so weak.
If you're good off the tee, I think you're gonna have a good week. So.
So mine at 7,900 is going to be Sepp Straka. Jeek talked me out of him the week of the Rocket Mortgage.
Yeah.
He came T8.
Not like talked you out of them, just like we were making.
But you were like, why do you like Sepp Straka? I'm like, because he's been playing well. And you're like, that's it. I'm like, yeah. And then you talked me out of it.
I don't even know who we put in.
I feel like it's a similar course to Rocket Mortgage.
We ended up putting in like Will Gordon, who like missed the cut.
I know I didn't like Will Gordon either, but
anyway. But yeah, last week he played like pretty poorly, but I wouldn't say that, like I said, last week's really gonna play that much into this week. But at the tournaments that have been like easier, like the RBC, the Rocket Mortgage, the Workday played a lot easier, even though it's the same course. He's been really good. He's come like T8, T14 at RBC or something like that. He's played really well at those. So I think this is a tournament that he does well at.
Okay. Okay. So last week I had Fowler got cut, and Horschel actually finished T13 somehow.
I didn't even see Fowler play last week.
He shot like 9 over the first day.
He like shot 9 over the first day, and then
he
was under the second day, but then like it didn't make a difference.
Didn't matter.
Horschel finished T13 like at like +1 or something. So with my first pick, I'm gonna go with Harris English at 9,000. Just by looking at his stats, I honestly didn't know he was like this good, but his last 2 finishes, T13 at the Memorial and T17 at the RBC. He has 39th in strokes gained approach, 26 strokes gained off the tee, 26th in the strokes gained like 450 to 500, 28th in strokes gained putting, and 10th in strokes gained total. So like he's in the top 30 in almost every major category, and he's been playing good golf. Like I said, I looked at his name and I honestly didn't think he was playing this well. So I don't know. I feel like
Harris English and Billy Horschel seem like the exact same person.
They do seem like a similar type.
The
of
exact
player.
same person.
But honestly, I honestly like I did not know Harris English was like playing this well this year.
Did you guys see that that thing the PGA Tour posted, like the Sea Island boys?
No.
It was like him, Keith Mitchell, and somebody else on, and it was just like it was basically like Outer Banks meets like PGA Tour. It wasn't very interesting at all. It's like Keith,
PGA Tour.
It's Keith Mitchell and like
I guess.
It's just them playing golf, but like they're not very interesting people. But it was just kind of funny. But
I
anyway.
don't know. So 10th in strokes gained total. He's good at putting, good at ball striking. I feel like that's a good combo.
All right.
My next pick, I'm gonna go way down to like a value pick, and I'm gonna go with Chesson Hadley at 6,900. He's 21st in ball striking, 24th in strokes gained approach. He's T14 in birdie average. He's 3 of 4 cuts since the restart, and he's at 6,900. So I figured if you're gonna go with the higher guys this week, because the salaries are just kind of messed up, might as well have a value pick in there. So
yeah, one of these weeks, like all these picks are gonna do like super well, and we're gonna win that like Sunday million.
Yeah, we're waiting.
It hasn't happened yet.
It's bound to happen. It's bound to happen.
With Jon Rahm winning last week, that's another week where a top like 15 golfer has won, like since we've come back.
I feel like that's just like that was expected. I literally said last week was the tournament, like I expected a top 15 guy, a top guy to win.
Yeah.
I mean we're staying on that for some reason. So
yeah.
I'm waiting for that to like move to the side where somebody random wins, and like we just happen to have them.
This could be the week that random guy wins.
Because there's not that good of a field.
Right, and then my second one is going to be Troy Merritt, 7,500. He's been a hot streak recently. He finished T7 here last year. At the Workday, which obviously played a lot easier than the Memorial, he gained over 7 strokes approaching the green, even though he isn't generally a good ball striker, but you know he's hot, and he's a trap golf guy. His caddy
That's right.
is His name's like
Wayno
Drano or something like that.
What
Instagram.
a name!
But he's like the trap golf guy.
Yeah, he's like
That's
the brand
awesome.
ambassador for trap golf.
That's so sick. That's our guy right there.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, that's who I'm going with. I feel like that's pretty good value too for 7,500.
It is. I picked him a couple weeks ago. He's been pretty good this year. So my last pick will go with Jonathan Vegas. Like I said, I've said from my research, I said it's a driver's golf course. If you're gonna hit a lot of drivers. If you go off the tee, hit long, hit accurate, like you're gonna do well. Jonathan Vegas is 7th in the strokes gained off the tee and it's top 10 in the field in driving distance, and he's made 3 or 4 cuts since the restart. So I think he's in decent form. 7,900 is not like the most expensive, but he's like kind of like the mid-level.
When you said this, in the car, I really liked this pick.
He's one of those names. He's one of those names that could win this tournament.
He's one of those guys. Like he's one of those guys where like you just like I feel like you think of Jonathan Vegas, you're like, okay, he's like he seems like a guy who'd be like good at driving the ball, and you 7th the strokes gained off the tee, top 10 driving distance.
I mean,
like
Jonathan
you could have a field day.
Vegas is one of those guys who like in a tournament like this where it's like, when it's a driver's course and it's just like plays pretty easily.
Hot.
Yeah,
he's one of those guys that you just see at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
he's so undervalued. I feel like, like everyone's like, oh yeah, I see this guy every other week, and it's just
exactly.
Yeah.
So that'll do it for the DFS picks. We can move on to the bets. Last week, I was really high on Bryson to win and come top 20.
Yeah,
those both.
I'm gonna stop doing that too.
Both went sideways.
I had Hovland the win and Hovland top 30, and he was on pace for top 30, and then he was +7 on Sunday.
Yeah,
So
I wasn't very high on Hovland going into this week.
I had
close.
Koepka 262, and then Woodland top 20, which was after the first day, it was looking so nice.
I mean,
and even going to the last day,
T22. That's pretty bad.
It's brutal, and it would have been like 2 points too. So what plus 200.
Are we both 2 and 4?
We're both 2 and 4.
I'm so bad.
And you're
at
like
this.
1 and 5.
Yeah, I've been
2
like
and 4
just
is not much better.
Dude,
I've been doing like random picks, and I'm pretty bad at this.
I
had a bad beat last week.
I think we should have beaten the bookie on for the PGA Championship week.
Yes.
Yeah.
To teach us how to not be like.
I mean, honestly, we're
awful.
okay with
No,
the
we're
DFS
good.
picks.
If anyone else has
we're just not
suggestions,
the
let us
best
know.
bets. These best bets are hard because the bookmakers are so good at making odds that are
obviously,
Here's
like
the thing.
perfect with each other.
We've got the info down, and I
Yeah,
think
the
if you
stats.
just use the info that we
But
tell you, you're gonna like.
we find the right stats, but I think we have to we find all the stats and everything, but I think we have to use we either miss some stats or we have to use more stats, some stats more than others.
Yeah.
Or just
Or
like
value
common, or
more
just like
stats than
common
others.
knowledge. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
Like
common knowledge is underrated.
I value like course history too a lot, which bound up that we don't know if that's necessarily a good thing or not.
I mean, like, there's a lot of places that don't really have the course plays
Yeah.
different. They don't have a lot of course history. I
Yeah,
mean, the
but
3M Open like this is the second time they've played it, so there's only one round of course or one tournament of course history.
It's just there's a lot of things you have to take into account, and it could be. I mean, you don't know what's gonna happen. So.
Yeah. So we can go into the bets. I guess I'll start. This is gonna make the snake interesting. But my winner's Lucas Glover. He's one of those guys. He's another one of those guys like Lucas Glover, kind of like Jonathan Vegas, where you just you see him in the top half of the leaderboard in these tournaments, and you're just kind of like, that's weird.
I couldn't tell you what Lucas Glover looks like.
I think he's blonde.
He's South African, I'm pretty sure.
Is he?
That doesn't help me though.
So he's blonde.
He's won a U.S. Open.
Anyway, so he's finished top 25 in each of his starts since the return of the tour, besides this last week, which I'm not really taking into account.
Never mind, he's American.
Not blonde.
He's American.
He's not blonde.
He's not.
Well,
he's
American.
He's the one with the crazy wife.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Crazy wife. The first
yeah.
thing I see is his wife's mugshot.
Yes,
or something
exactly.
Jesus.
Yeah,
she looks crazy.
Yes. So he came T38 last week, which last week that's not a bad finish.
No.
And he was T7 here last year, much like Troy Merritt, and he's one of those good ball strikers that we talk about. So I think he can win. And then my best bet, I was talking about this in the car on the way over here, and it's Matthew Wolfe over Bubba Watson, -110 in the tournament matchup. And I was saying, I forgot who it was against.
The way you said it was
the way you said it made it was
it sounded like
you made it seem like it was Matthew Wolfe against Martin Trainer.
Yeah,
I was
exactly.
Like, no.
Martin Trainer's a
Wolfe or
great example for that. 'Cause
Yeah.
Martin Trainer's one of those guys
or Nick
where
Watney.
he is a lock to miss the cut at like plus 12 in a tournament like this even.
Yeah.
Like that guy sucks.
Whatever. I still love Martin Trainer because I did bet on him in a random tournament last year and he did win. So.
Like not a PGA Tour event.
No, it wasn't. It was like a Corn Ferry event, I think, and I just like saw the live odds and I was like,
but
I'm gonna take this guy.
That guy's not good. That guy's not good.
Jake, I hate to break it to you, but I was looking at last year's tournament. Cheston Hadley was shot 81.
Oh yeah, I know he missed the cut last year, but he's a low value play. That's probably why he's 69.
I'm gonna say it. If there's a
Smiley Kaufman play here last year, that's wild.
If there's a PGA Tour pro that the three of us and other Trevor could beat in a scramble versus him, it's Martin. And if he sees this and wants to call us out,
honestly,
like,
if
we'll play
Silver Mine. We
I would
honestly, if the foreplay boys beat Kevin Kisner and Trent's like not even a good golfer like at all, like we could beat somebody pretty decent.
They played Pinehurst too.
And they played Pinehurst.
If we played Silvermine, I'm saying you put the line on us at like -4.5 strokes.
What, against Martin Trainer?
No.
Dude, Martin Trainer's still shooting a 59 at Silvermine.
Like, he's still gonna play sick, but like we would like if we had a scramble,
we gotta play a scramble there just to see how
well
well
we shoot. Yeah,
we should play a scramble one day.
We gotta do that before we go back to school.
We will do that. We should do that.
Because what do you think we'd shoot? It's a 5,500-yard course. I'm sure we've talked about
scramble.
on podcast.
So us four, so us three and Trev.
Us three, yeah, another Trev.
Probably, I bet we shoot like 60. It's par 70. I bet we shoot 66.
Okay.
The
greens are a little messed up. Like I could totally see a situation where we're all on the green and we all miss.
Honestly, we probably shoot closer to par. We'll have like a 10-foot putt for birdie.
Dude,
we
I
all
don't know.
miss it.
I feel like
that'd actually be a lot of fun if we did that. I really want to do a scramble.
Yeah, let's do that next week or something.
Next
we'll make a
week.
video.
We'll find a day.
All right, we'll make a video for that.
All right, perfect.
Anyway, where was I? Matt Wolfe and Bubba Watson. Matt Wolfe and Bubba Watson goes into Martin Trainer talk. That's
us.
interesting.
Who would have thought?
Anyway, Bubba's been playing pretty bad golf, and
he was T32 last week.
Yeah, but other than he still didn't play well. He was still like 6 over.
I understand that, but you can't really put last week into this week.
And he still like technically didn't play well. He was like 6 over.
Yeah.
So anyway, and Wolfe's the reigning champ. So it's like, I mean, what else can you say?
These are tough. Okay, so my winner, I'm gonna go with Doc Redman at plus 5,500. Now I feel like Doc Redman's a name that a lot of people put out there this week as like could play well, and like especially in DFS. But I decided to stay away from him in DFS on this and pick him to win. 14th in strokes gain approach, 8th in ball striking, 29th in strokes gain 450 to 500. He has 3 top 25 since the restart. There was one week I picked him that he played pretty well. I forget what, Rocket Mortgage maybe.
Who was this?
Doc Redman.
Yes, it was. He played pretty well there.
Yeah, he's like apparently in the top half of the field here. Like if you look at the field.
I could see him playing well here.
Yeah, I might as well go for him to win.
What's his DFS?
I think it's 8.7.
Yeah,
which is actually pretty good value. I think I have him in the skins lineup. But best bet, I suck at these, but I'm gonna go with Carlos Ortiz plus 105 versus Sam Burns. I'm kind of gonna fade Trevor here. And Burns has been playing.
Sam Burns is a good pick.
Burns has been playing well, but like he's 158th in strokes gain approach and 205th in strokes gain around the green.
So this week is strokes gained approach versus
strokes gained.
It's pretty much like this is a big week for Jeek because like
yeah, exactly. Because I'm rolling strokes gain approach.
You love that stat like it's
so
your
much.
But
like
child.
The thing is he's not good at approach and he's not good around the green. So like it's like getting on the green. How do you get on the green? I don't know how he's been playing well.
But he's good off the tee.
But I guess he's good off the tee. But I'm gonna go. Carlos Ortiz is honestly only 68th in strokes gain approach, but he was T5 last year at the 3N. And he gained a stroke in like every major category last year, so maybe he's likes this course. I don't know. Plus 105, not bad value. And you know what? You can never go wrong fading our DFS picks. Yeah. Some of them have not been good.
One will be at least this way.
One of us will be
right. Say
what
you will, but we have like 3 winners this year.
We do. Two of them.
Since the return of the tour. I mean,
that's true. And we have another. We had Sanjay M like before the return.
Yep.
So.
Exactly.
So
what's Sanjay M win?
He won PGA National.
Right.
Yeah.
Honda. Yeah. So this week my winner will be Eric Van Rooyen.
Jogger guy.
Joggers style guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he went to University of Minnesota, and he says he loves this course. He's played it several times. Went to Minnesota. He's kind of got passed it with Troy Merritt. He's from Minnesota.
I actually forgot to say that, but yes, Troy Merritt's from Minnesota.
Troy Merritt's from Minnesota. Van Royen went to Minnesota, so he has kind of a little more some hometown ties as well, even though he's from South Africa. But he's I think he honestly might have family there too.
This is completely unrelated, but Erik Van Rooyen is sick of the guitar. If you've seen his social
I've seen that on PGA Tour.
Really?
Yeah,
PGA
he's
Tour.
actually very good at the guitar.
His stylish outfits in the guitar. That's kind of funny. But he loves the course. He's got a lot of homey vibes kind of here. And he finished T22 last week at probably one of the hardest tournaments all year. So
it's funny because Minnesota and South Africa could not be too different.
Oh,
places.
Yeah, no, right.
I saw he went to University of Minnesota. I'm like, really? He went to Minnesota?
They have a pretty good golf team.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do. Yeah,
that's kind of
Have
random.
you ever seen their
too.
facility?
I have seen it.
I've seen.
But they're in Minnesota. When do you golf?
No, that's the point. They have to have a sick facility so they can play golf.
I mean, they probably just go. I mean, all these tournaments are in Florida.
When I was,
yeah.
Well, when I was in, I went to Iowa football game a couple years ago. I toured the Iowa golf facility. It's so sick.
Really?
So cool. Yeah.
That's so random.
I know.
Yeah,
all these northern schools that cold schools with snow everywhere. The school, the facilities are so nice.
Is it as cold in Iowa during the winter as it is in Syracuse probably?
Yeah,
Midwest, it's really
Chicago.
cold.
Yeah.
Does Drew say that a lot?
Yeah, he says he wears.
I was watching.
It's -13 wind chills.
Yeah, I was watching.
Okay, so it's cold.
There was a Netflix
really
thing where it was high school quarterbacks, and there was a high school quarterback from California, and he went to Iowa State, and he's in California the entire season. I don't remember what his name was. It was the entire season he's in California, and then it cuts. He is an early enrollment at Iowa State. He goes to Iowa State.
He's
it's -5 degrees and snowing out. He's I can't believe I chose this school.
I don't blame him. And then my best bet, I'll go with Tony Finau, top 20, -137, which honestly I don't think is that bad of value, considering.
Good form, driving.
It's gonna look bad if these guys don't play well, but I'm just riding on the fact that hot driver. If you're a hot driver, you're gonna play well.
Mm-hmm.
It's I feel like it doesn't.
Yeah, I think Tony Finau's figuring it out.
Yeah, and he played well last week. I think if you play well last week,
unless for some reason we completely get this course wrong as well, I think that Tony Finau bet's pretty good.
Yeah,
oh sure. Tony Finau hasn't really won since the Puerto Rico Open, but he's been a good golfer, and I just think it's
hasn't really won. No, he
hasn't won.
Yeah.
But I think it's crazy that he's still and he's been good. He's been in the top 20 golfers for the last couple years, and it's crazy that one player, Bryson, just being sick at driving and stuff, has caused him to change his game.
I told my dad. I asked my dad. He's like, oh, Tony Finau's pretty good, isn't he? I'm like, Dad, how many wins do you think Tony Finau has on tour? He's like, I don't know, 4 or 5. I'm like, he has 1.
Yeah,
and but he's won
how many second place finishes do you think Tony Finau has on tour?
15 million.
Yeah, he has 10.
Yeah.
By the way, the winner of the DFS giveaway that we did 2 weeks ago just sent me a Snapchat in the Boom Sauce shirt.
Oh really?
Really?
You got it.
I didn't even notice it at first.
I still have to order my Boom Sauce shirt.
Yeah, well, I'm waiting for the hats to get in the store.
Yeah.
The hats are coming out in the store soon, I think, and those are gonna be fire.
Okay, one last thing. First round leader. Last week we had Answer and Woodland, and Gary was so close to first round leader. He was leading the entire day, and then bogeyed the last hole, and then Finau got hot for the last 2. I think he was 2 strokes behind.
Almost had it.
Almost had it. So this week I was just kind of looking for a guy.
I don't hate this.
Kind of a random pick, but I'm gonna go with Cameron Trangali at +9,000. Now he's 11th in round 1 scoring average. He's a ball striker. 22nd in strokes gained approach. He's gone low this year. Has the ability to go low. Like I said, it's a little bit of a random pick, but the field's not stacked this week, and I feel like the first round leader is not always a big name. So I don't know.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
I feel
you also threw in Finau +2,800. It's not a bad pick, especially since last week he went low. But
he's a guy that can go low. Finau. So I he's a scorer. He's not one of those guys that's course management only. Even though he played well last week, but
yeah, I'm looking for that random.
But I like the value
in the first. I don't know. Trangali. Hopefully we get this one right. That'd be sick.
And then we can cap it off here with birdies and bogeys. I'll start again. I'll start again. Because I know my bogey of the week. This week I caddied and I got absolutely burnt, toasted. First day was
in 2 ways.
Two ways. We don't have to talk about that. Yeah. So first day was I had to set up in the morning and everything for this big member tournament at the club I work at, and it's like pouring rain. So I'm wearing like a jacket, and then all of a sudden while I'm caddying, it gets like 90 degrees.
That's happened to me before. I definitely understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, and after the ninth hole, I sprint to like the bag room and just like take off my jacket, and I'm like so sweaty. And then but I didn't get sunburned that day. And the second day I was like, I'll be fine. I was not fine. My arms
it's like 95 degrees.
You gotta be that guy who wears.
You can tell.
You can tell it's a little faded.
It's faded now. But that was so much pain that I was in.
You should be that guy that wears like the white like sleeves underneath.
Oh, no, there's a guy.
You know what? Do we name drop or no?
No name dropping.
No name dropping. But there's a guy at the club who puts on so much sunscreen you would not believe.
And he wears.
Was it like Mark Zuckerberg style? Did you see that?
It was. It's worse. It's like that.
He wears a bucket hat and he wears sleeves. He wears the white
it's
sleeves.
So funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's bad. Anyway, and the guy like takes a card out at like 8:30 at night,
of course,
and doesn't come in until like 9:45. Anyway,
he lives there.
So yeah, whoever has to close is pretty bad. And my birdie, I guess I made some money. So I mean, that was good. That's where
carrying at tournaments though. One reason that makes it worth it is you make it.
You make the money. Exactly.
Okay, my bogey of the week. I was on 79 watch last week actually, and I think I just needed a bogey and a par to like finish at 78 or something. I think, and it was like went terribly. Double bogey to finish the round. I think I shot like an 82, but.
That's brutal.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. That's like the second time.
It's one of those things. It's like that's happened to me before. I'm like,
that's happened to me like 3 times.
I remember I texted you guys.
Yeah, but for him it's like breaking par.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember last year I texted you guys. I'm like, guys, I'm at 69 watch right now, and I was like with 3 holes left. I'm like 2 under.
Triple bogey, double bogey.
And I bogeyed last 3. I'm like, oh, I finished 72.
Yeah.
Just kill me.
Yeah, so that kind of sucked.
I think most people would take that though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would take a 72.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll trade you my 82 for your 72. Birdie of the week.
I mean, you were playing well.
Yeah, I guess I was playing.
You are playing pretty well.
I'm playing pretty like I'm honestly not ball striking.
Jeek beat me in a match.
Got a new wedge.
Jeek beat me in a match.
I did get an SM8, and the wedge is sick. Like, I guess this. I think my clubs need to get cleaned a little bit. I should probably clean them, but like, that club was so clean. I like hit the first wedge, and it like spun back like a pro.
I'm playing pretty just like. Because I just have not been playing since I started working.
That was to be my bogey of the week because I haven't been playing. I started work last week. I haven't really been playing that much.
It's funny
because working like every day, like I'm exhausted.
Your birdie's got to be that you played. Hudson
I have 2 birdies actually.
Well, I will say my game just like how it's been. Like I have not been hitting the ball that well, but for some reason my short game, my putting's just been so much better the last.
Which is not your thing.
Which is not my thing. So if I put it all together,
you could.
Jeek's usually the king of no finesse, but all ball striking.
Yes,
that's why he's a ball striking guy because he is a ball striking guy.
Yeah, but like recently I've been pretty bad at the ball striking. So good scrambling though.
So my 1 bogeys I haven't played. Well, I haven't played that much, but then my birdies, I'm playing Hudson National every Tuesday because I started working there. So I played last Tuesday. That course is
sick.
So cool.
The views
oh
are
my
sick
god, the views are ridiculous. The course.
Trev, every time you play
the
there,
golden fescue is unbelievable.
Every time you play there, it's mandatory that you put something on the story.
I will. I 100% will.
Here's the thing. I feel like if a course has golden fescue, it's automatically like a top 10
cool.
course.
It looks so sick. It looks so like that. Like Beth
what
Page.
is that in top 100?
Like 80.
80? Still insane.
80 is sick in the top.
In the top 100. Yeah, but it's so.
Trevor gets to
so
play there
pretty.
once a week for like the next month.
Yeah, you gotta get a video out there.
I'll try. But
get like a tripod or something. Do you play by yourself?
Yeah, by myself.
Yeah, just get a tripod. Do the rigs thing.
The what?
The rigs.
Where
rigs
he puts
just
a tripod
up a tripod.
I might be able to sauce you something.
Daily 9. I played it last week. I actually didn't play that bad. But at least to other birdie, I didn't play. Last week I didn't play with didn't even play with a rangefinder. Today I'm getting a new rangefinder and I'm going to play today. So
you're playing Hudson National today?
I'm playing like 4 or something like that today. So I'm going out and play today. I'm getting a new rangefinder today.
It sucks you're not going from here to Hudson National.
I know it'd be so easy. It'd
be
like, it would have been like a 15-minute drive.
Yeah, but you have quite some time.
Literally the first 2 days I was there. The first day I worked, I put a story on my Snapchat, and the second day I put another story on my Snapchat.
I mean,
it's so fun.
It's sick.
But that was so I had a pretty good week, and hopefully I play a little better today. But that course is,
could that course host a PGA event or no? I've never.
It's hosted like it's I won't host like
could
a
it host like
it's not
Walker Cup?
It's not long enough. It could, but I guess it's more. It hosts like a Met Open.
Okay.
Stuff. Met Open and Met like
Hudson National won't host like PGA events, but like Liberty National.
Oh yeah. Liberty National hosts the President's Cup. Yeah. But like
that's what I kind of equate that similarity of that course.
Hudson National's kind of like it was like those like really like private nice clubs that like are like tougher than like the average. Like Michael Strahan's member and Mark Messier.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of guys like are members.
Not to be confused with my place of occupation last summer, Hudson Hills.
Although
it is the nicest public course in like Hudson Valley.
Yeah. That course was nice. You kidding me?
You played it? Oh, we played it together.
I played with you. Right. Yeah, I played terrible.
I almost beat you.
I played so bad. I remember playing so bad.
Yeah, no, that was a tough round.
Yeah.
I think that was like one of the only times I played 18 there. I think I played like 3 times. But anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, next week what do we got? The FedEx St. Jude. I'm honestly kind of pumped for the 3M Open. I feel like last year it had a pretty good end. Like Wolfe, Morikawa.
I'm hoping Wolfe is kind of in the mix this week.
I would love to see Wolfe in the
I would love a duel. Like I just want maybe like a DJ Wolfe duel in the final group.
That'd be cool.
That'd be really cool.
Rahm did kind of like mess up a little bit near the end, but like I was kind of disappointed that he had like a 7-stroke lead at one point.
You kind of knew he was gonna win. Mm-hmm. So.
Oh, another bogey. I'm on the schedule for clean pick on Sunday.
Oh, I did that yesterday. It was brutal. Clean, like picking balls out of the bunker is not fun. It's not fun at all.
Working at a golf course is kind of a grind sometimes, but it's fun.
It is fun, yeah. There's some rewards to it. Yeah, definitely.
Free golf. So yeah, we'll see you next week at the FedEx St. Jude. Good luck this week with your betting.